This is said to be the source of the mighty cosmic power that moves the galaxies around its core. So this is getting to be the vortex within the vortex within the vortex. It is called M for Messier 87, or sometimes it's called astronomically the letters Z as in zebra, S as in Sam. But it's estimated to possess 3 billion suns. So the size of our sun, that's billion with a B. You think about Mandelbrot's fractal image. It can go very small and then it can expand. So we've been in the huge galactic center, but now, and that's within the Milky Way consciousness. Now we're going into a super galactic center that if you listen to astrologer Pam Gregory, she's tracking the super galactic as well. And she just made a comment that in her view, she thinks it sometimes blows up the planets it touches. So we hold that as far as transformational energy, not to fear, but just to go, what is it that we can learn every time we find a super massive black hole? But we're talking at least 30, I think Philip Sedgwick calls out 33 galaxies, including the Milky Way. So imagine this idea of a huge spiral vortex of the center being a super galactic center. And the themes that this entity carries is how to balance life and death, rebirth and evolution. That feels very Plutonic or House 8, right? So when Pam says blowing up things, it's so perhaps the new can then be born.
In a nutshell, the supergalactic center point of Libra possesses insanely potent drawing power. It is irresistible with all its gravity. Planets aligned with this point powerfully attract whatever is in opposition or proximity. When planets transit supergalactic center, their magnetism is supercharged. Within the nature of the supergalactic center, transiting planet reflect on what is being activated in that area of your life. And it's actually interesting now because we have Sun moving through early Libra as of now, right? And also Venus and Mercury are kind of following, kind of transiting this early Libra. So reflect on the life area where early Libra is for you in your chart. Were you receiving more energy, activations, invitation kind of from within for you to focus on that area more, and also look at what's in opposition on the other side in Aries. And it's interesting, now we'll have Aries full moon. So really we are collectively experiencing this polarity between your needs and other people's needs, and somehow making sure that you are getting better and better at mastering, balancing this dichotomy in relationships and finding a way to maintain harmony through wisdom of your being, as you learned the hard way previously. So many lifetimes, especially people with Aries South nodes, they've had lifetimes of warrior and leaders, leading masses to all kinds of faiths. And now in this incarnation, they all seem to be guided to making a better choice and knowing better. So I think it's really interesting, as many people in the collective will be activated, especially in around this time, to master relationships within your own being, but also with others.
That galactic message of, the old, needs to kind of die so that the new can come through. It's gestational in a certain way on a cosmic level. But here's where we'll land for natal chart alignments when it comes to the aspects.
Pretty much everything I said earlier about the galactic center and the aspect applies to the supergalactic center as well, but think magnified, multiplied, influence and manifestation, even more potent than what we shared about the galactic center. People that I've come across who have super galactic center conjunctions, especially to their, say, Mercury, their mind, or their Neptune, they feel like they are plugged into super galactic computer, and they're regularly, especially with Mercury, because it's transiting so often through that degree, they feel like they are receiving downloads quite often, and it's not easy to then share them with the world. I believe it is Philip Sedgwick, as you mentioned his name earlier, who studies these major galactic points. He noticed that anyone who receives downloads of higher information from these cosmic points, when they decide to share them at the point when they receive it, say within a day or two, you actually talk to someone about what you've just realized, something cosmic, the person that receives it usually will not get it really. They will, again, just crickets, and they'll go and get a cup of tea and think about something else. However, he noticed that there is this gap of when others are ready to receive it, people who don't have these alignments necessarily, they'll be able to get it in 9 months' time, he says. 9 to 12 months' time, leg time for since you received the download and when others will receive it and get it. So he suggests that if you have these major alignments, whenever you get these downloads and you decide to share them, also write them down, because people who will get them in 9 or 12 months' time, they will think that they received it, and you'll say, oh, I said that 9 months ago, and I'll be like, no, you didn't. So have them written so you have a proof of, actually, not that we want to claim anything that's cosmic, but it was just a little anecdote, and see if you actually experience this in your life. If you have super galactic center conjunct and you feel like you're getting these downloads sometimes, do you find it difficult to share that wisdom with others because they're just not getting it at that time, but maybe later on they're getting it? Would be nice to see. Another thing that I've noticed is that also what is in opposition to super galactic center, it's like there really is this massive drawing power of super galactic center between the two polarities. So Libra, Aries, really pay attention where that is in your chart, and how you're being guided to mass relationships. I'm kind of just repeating myself, especially in planets. So if it is in opposition, it's again more towards the past 30 years old and later, when you're finding it easier and easier to decide and discern when to bring that higher consciousness that really feels like cosmic, multi-galactic. And also people who have these particular alignments, they seem like they have this greater magnetism, especially if it will be in around their ascendant, their Venus. They will be very attractive to others. They'll be drawing people to them, or they will be guided to create a business or do something that actually has people revolving around them.
Can you share with us the degree of orb? Is it the same as the galactic center?
Yes, thank you. So galactic center, I personally would go in up to 3, but really up to 5 degrees. With super galactic center, easily 5 to 10 more so. But many astrologers choose, even for galactic center, to go up to 10 degrees. So it's really a matter of personal preference. I kind of go intuitively whether it is relevant to mention it or focus on it in someone's chart. So for super galactic, definitely at least 5, up to 5 degrees of orb, certainly up to 10 easily. That influence will be there. And remember, like the influence is there exponentially, but it gets stronger and stronger the closer the degree is. Okay. I will just calculate the points for each of these aspects for you. So for conjunction, it's in around 2 degrees of Libra. For opposition, it's in around 2 degrees of Aries. Look where that is in your chart. For trine, it will be 4 signs from Libra. We have, look where early degrees of Gemini is. And this is where you will have that innate ability to bring higher wisdom into your life, even though someone could say, early Gemini or Gemini, there could be flakiness or whatnot. However, very early, that 0, 1, 2 degrees of Gemini and even late degrees of Taurus can actually, from what I'm seeing, they can be quite wise in terms of navigating interpersonal relationships. Look, early Gemini and early Aquarius. For sextiles, we count 2 signs up and down from Libra. So look where early Leo is for you and early Sagittarius, more luck. Coming from the Super Galactic Center. And then for squares, look where early Cancer and early Capricorn